right. If you manage to make it, hooray, we're live. If you don't manage to make it, I set it for 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. if you're Eastern time on Monday, and we are still recovering from devastating.
Yeah, I was still trying to look through everything to figure it out when you're like, we're live. Oh, that's right. That's why we're here.
Yep. Okay. I see this in Creator Collab. And then let's see if our main page at least shows us live now. It does. So we have that going for us.
Perfect. So our event has the live in it. It's also on YouTube, although everyone that ever shows up is always on Facebook. So hi, Facebook. Yeah. So I think we're good. So you want to go over kind of like custom versus baked and branded?
Yeah, so I think I specifically want to talk about whether or not you need a designer to swap to baked and branded.
Okay.
I've had a ton of fun playing with some flavor bender stuff. I totally have more questions for you when we're not here. Oh, look, we have someone here. Yay, announce yourself. We're dancing. I'm excited. Thank you, anyone, for finding us. So sad. I love when I mess things up like that. Hi, Erin. Okay, so Erin is on a custom theme. She launched last week, and then she really liked a bunch of baked and branded blocks. So I gave her a bunch, but some fit in post and some don't. You know, we try to have them organized, but Erin needs new blocks. Lauren, you got to build those on the fly today. I promised her if she shows up that you would do that.
I read the email, and I believe you said she might do that.
I said probably. And what I meant is, Mommy, please help.
Yeah, we can play with that.
Okay.
Well, while we see, so Erin, normally what we do is we kind of do a little chat at the beginning of some sort of topic, and then whatever questions come in, we do questions and answers, which usually ends with me building stuff live. So I knew it wasn't made for posts. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna change. I wasn't sure which block. I didn't look deeply at it. But Hannah, let's go over kind of the designer type stuff for, maybe 10-ish minutes, and then see if anyone else shows up and if there's Q&As from those people as well. So if you guys will drop in any questions you have while we just kind of chat for a little bit, that'll be helpful. And then we'll go through all of the questions.
Ooh, Laura, I have homework for you. Okay, so Laura is one of our first baked and branded people. Laura, I need a testimonial, some kind of like analytics or proof that baked and branded like transformed your site's performance. You don't have to stick it in the chat if you don't want to. You can just email me, but I was thinking about you earlier and hoping you would show up in the goal of asking you this. So yeah, would love just some kind of like proof of concept. Thank you. Sorry. Also ask your questions. I would love to answer your questions too, but I was thinking about you. Okay, so designer, whether you need a custom site, whether you can work with baked and branded. I have a lot of thoughts on this because I am doing a lot of things and referencing like some Feature Fest videos to try to get Flavor Bender, who's previously a custom client, and doing a baked and branded customization with me. And it's been really interesting to see like what I can do, what I can't do, what's slow and laggy, like my grid photo that won't show up. You can look at it later if you want. You could also look at it now. I'm really proud of how I can match a lot of stuff on this custom site that's built on a Genesis theme using baked and branded and creator theme. That's been super cool for me. There are some things that we said would be compromises that once I figure out some left margin pushing numbers this way, it's going to be chef's kiss awesome. And I know that I can just copy and paste it because you've done it in another block. My computer was laggy today and I haven't been able to move as fast as I want. I think there's a chance I'm very excitable today. Am I talking too fast? Because my computer is not keeping up with my brain. It's been frustrating. Lauren's like, yeah, I'm just trying to enjoy my day. It's Christopher's birthday. I'm technically off.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
I'm like, oh, Hannah's got a lot happening here. Like, I just showed up.
I have so many thoughts. Okay, so do you need a designer? I think short answer, no. Do you have a more nuanced, developer specific
Yes.
answer?
Of
Give it
course,
to
I
him.
have a longer, more nuanced answer. That is just who I am as a person.
Proceed, honey boo boo.
But the short answer is no. I don't think you need a designer to use Baked and Branded. It's already really opinionated. But if you're trying to bring in your brand and you want a lot of custom like elements, then yes, of course, like having a designer will help because you can easily pop those in. I mean, if you're not a designer, getting that little circle logo might be like you could just do the text template that we have. But if you want some other sort of circle type logo that you can place there, then that would be something that easily comes from a designer. I mean, it's very easy to add a basic color scheme, but a designer can probably give you like ideal like colors that go well together. Um, Same for just like background textures or patterns and stuff. So I feel like a designer goes a long way, even with something that starts out really solid, to just give you like a little bit of a distinction. But do you need it? No.
Mm-mm.
So
I think it's so interesting because, like, I've been able to steal, borrow, inherit might be the better version, past designs. So with Erin's site,
yeah.
she had one of those blocks that needed the circle logo, but I found an SVG or an icon of hers that could mostly fit in that circle. It was actually more of an oval, and then I had to like remove some radius to make it show up right. But she had a nice, pretty image that we could stick in that little circle text placeholder. So that was fun to be able to use it in different ways. You're like, Hannah, you're doing
Yeah.
it.
No. I'm thinking if the question is, do you need a designer to use something like Baked and Branded that has the design? Then I still feel like what you're saying is not really like a designer type thing. Like you are just like customizing a block that exists.
Yeah.
I feel like where a designer would really come in would be more of the branding like touches to it. The implementation, you don't need a designer, but someone that's like versed enough in WordPress blocks would be helpful. So, that's us, that's you. That could be a VA who isn't a designer, but has WordPress block experience. And they're like, oh, I can make that layout for you. Or someone that kind of considers themselves like an entry level. So I feel like entry level, this is getting a little technical. Entry level like web developers often I feel like consider themselves web designers. But for me, when I think of like a web designer, I think of a branding specialist that has a lot of experience with web. And I'm like, you're a web designer versus like if you're actually coding the HTML or CSS or whatever, that would be like a web developer. So I feel like semantically, someone might call themselves a web designer, but then do what I would consider like development VA type stuff. So yeah, I'm really in the weeds there.
I think an interesting maybe decision point for you, if you get Baked and Branded and you have done as much as you can and you feel like it's just not cohesive, then potentially hiring a designer could help you. I think that it's pre-built to where it's likely that you won't do that, but like I am Frankensteining some things that Lauren's head would completely spin around on as I'm playing on sites. And
like,
I think that it would be really easy for the site to go awry if you Frankenstein things as one does. We're not even going to call me an entry-level developer. We're going to call me a squirrel-brained project manager attempting things.
She has enough power to be dangerous, for sure.
Break things. It's my specialty.
Well, are you ready to hop into things?
Yeah.
All right, so we've got Erin here, we've got Laura here, and then guys, behind the scenes, we have my mom here. She's not a guest in this. She's like a guest live person. So we're gonna put her on screen later because she needs to practice her live, and so you guys are just gonna guinea pig with her a little bit. So we're gonna put her on screen in a little bit. But before that, Laura, I want to know if you have any questions for today that I can go over and answer for you. we definitely have some questions from Erin. I know I have one in email, but Erin, if there's any other questions that you have for me, you can drop them in the chat. That'd be really helpful. I want to, I think, summarize what I think is your question, Erin, knowing that I have not been in the office for most of today, and so I did not read the full email. I believe so. Hannah, you said you added like 14 new blocks. Yeah, baked and branded. You copy pasted them onto her site. You customized them a little bit to have branding. Like you changed the color scheme and stuff, right?
I played with some colors. I played with some fonts. I clicked a lot of buttons and pretended to be fast like you. Yes, they are. So in her site, if you go in, you'll see, I think, Creator Baked and Branded or something Baked and Branded. It specifically says like, these are from Baked and Branded.
Okay, I'll share my screen in a second. We can do that.
The names are going to make you cross-eyed, but at least the folder that I saved the patterns in. Erin, I promise I'm going to reorganize these names.
Look, Erin says you did well.
Thank you. Thank you, Erin.
Okay, and then there's at least one that is made for like full width that we want to be able to use in the post, right?
Yeah, and that's something interesting. Once Erin brought it up, I had a whole brain fart, as one does. And when you compare all of our blocks to the blocks that can actually fit in post, hi Vala, oh snuggle girl, we don't have as many blocks that fit in a post compared to all of these custom blocks that are for landing pages. Maybe that's something we could do differently with the next theme we build. We could add more in-post blocks or just convert some of these for our baked and branded users, because
I'd be fine adding more to baked and branded if we have more we want in post. I feel like a lot of posts follow the same format, so you don't need as many blocks, and then you may not want like your post in a ton. Sorry, you may not want your post to have a ton of custom block type styles, like too much emphasis on everything, right? So I feel like that was kind of consideration for me as well. But I do think if you're using a block in your post, leave it. That you need it, like I style it differently because your post is thinner, and so everything just needs to be like a little tighter and smaller. So
yeah.
Okay, how to change something to in post if it's not made for with the site. Yeah, okay, cool. So I'm gonna do that. I think well, first of all, Erin, I'm gonna start pulling that up on my side, and in the meantime, I'm gonna make my mom live on here, guys. I'm gonna put her on the screen, and we're just gonna see what she does. You guys can say hi to my mom. How to add to the side panel on single posts. Yes. Okay, cool. We're gonna do that. So I'm at Tammy Broxson. I'm adding you to the stage.
Was there like a signal at any point, or did your mom just have to be on and prepared? Like at any point, Lauren's going to call you out and put you into this?
Oh no, there was no signal. You don't have audio. You're muted right now.
You kept saying like, I'm going to add her later. She's going to come on later. And I'm like, is there a certain time? Do they have like a little winky face?
No, it was just like, you better be prepared. She knows how to play.
The jungle.
Okay. Tammy Broxson, while you figure out how to unmute yourself so you can say hi to Laura and Erin, I'm going to pull up Erin's site and get ready to screen share.
There's a microphone on your icon in the top right. Does that help you at all? Oh, device is not connected. I think maybe a different button was clicked. Fun fact, Lauren and I's moms have the same name. They're both Tammy. It really pleases me.
And I call her by her name most of the time. I can't remember. I think it was a friend's son was like, why do you call your mom Tammy Broxson? And I was like, I don't know. I honestly, I don't know.
But yeah, you really do.
I call her by her full name. This is
you
Tammy
hit the
Broxson.
Full legal name every time. Like she's getting both.
Yeah. She's doing a live tomorrow afternoon, and it's her first ever live.
And she doesn't have a fun mediator like me.
She does not. Yeah, she has to do it solo.
Why won't you get on and play with her?
Because I'm not the mediator. I'm the one that needs to be mediated.
Interesting.
All right, Tammy Broxson, you're going to click add to stage. to put yourself on here with us. She's using the same software that we are for her event tomorrow. And I was like, it's easy. But if I'm learning anything in this moment, it's that it's not easy.
I struggled with it. Remember when you were like, Hannah, you've got to add yourself. I was like, well, that's rude.
Yeah, we can't
You
hear
added
what
me.
you have to be on stage to like be able to talk to the other people on stage.
Yeah.
Share screen.
Okay, you're not muted anymore.
But
That's
she's
progress.
also not on screen. Hover
just have
over your icon and click add.
By icon, she means your face. Nope.
Okay, so I need to go to appearance editor.
All right, just look at the folders. Don't look at the names.
Look at the folders, not the names. Okay, so inside of patterns, probably all of the ones that you created are going to be up here. Look at how many patterns there are. Is that real?
Oh, girl.
875? Erin, what are you creating all these patterns for?
She's pretending to be appalled, but in real life, in the pit of her soul, she's like, I made a plugin for you, Erin. I'm going to simplify your life.
I would go through and delete a lot of those, actually. I'd be like, that's too many patterns. Okay,
Those
so
are
I can
spell
14.
You don't want to just scroll down one folder for me? Nope. She doesn't want to give me that. Thank you.
Is this better? Should we check on Tammy Broxton? She hasn't made it onto the screen yet.
Well, she told us via YouTube. She's logging off and back on. But that was probably laggy.
Trying to chat with us.
Aw. Yes, Erin's site looks so good.
All right, Tammy Broxton.
Tag that I want.
For your test, you're going to find your face and you're going to click add to stage. You're in here with us. So you need to find the tab and then come join. This is cracking me up so much, guys.
The tab appears on hover. Tammy's really great on video too. She's who I want to be. She shows up very regularly. Queen of camera. It's just the software.
Okay, which one of these do we want to do? Some of these are already made for in post. Some of them are not. Which one do we want to change to specifically work in post?
She wants the review on what readers are saying to fit in post. That was where this conversation started. Now, if Erin wants to add anything else, there's a 2-minute lag time for your comments. So insert them now. And by the time Lauren is done with this, we can start working on the next one.
Okay. Did we do feature comment block for Erin though? We have it in Baked and Branded.
I don't know, but does what readers are saying? I don't know.
Okay. So Erin,
is what readers are saying even using feature comment block?
No, they're not. It's not. That's why. That's why I was like, is this really what Erin wants though? So real quick.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Let's see if there's one in here. Maybe we didn't do featured comment block. I guess we didn't do featured comment block. All right, Erin, 2 things. One, we're going to totally make that work so you can do it.
Compared to 60-something blocks?
Can you repeat that, Hannah? I didn't hear you.
Sorry, I think my internet is lagging. I was just saying it's a sad list of what's in post versus the 60-something blocks. Not important. Yes. Proceed.
I think that I didn't do it because we weren't including that plugin. Like it's a small plugins thing and not everyone would have it. So maybe that's why. Also, look at Erin over here. Feel free to make one. Cool. So Erin, what I want to show you is you and Laura a couple things. We're gonna first, like, I'm gonna show you what featured comment block is, because I think that you'll like that better than using this particular feature. But then we're also going to change your current or this like full width block into something that'll fit in your post, just so you have a tutorial on how you would do something like that in the future. And then Laura, we're going to do something very similar for you, where we're going to take the featured like block brand logos and put that in the sidebar. So you'll see how you can adjust it to fit in the sidebar, and then also how you edit the sidebar. So we'll kind of like get to do a few things that are similar to each other. But first, I'm certain that we have it in some of these posts. So let's just check her latest one.
I'm just going to add the disclaimer that this is why people love to work with you, Lauren, because you're like, I understand what you're asking, but I think I know something that you would like more. Let me show you this new shiny thing.
I know Becky was excited for it and like asked how to use it, but it's not in any of these latest posts. It's like this one, but she had a prettier one. She's got a prettier one. All right. We're about to have to
It's a lot of work to update these posts.
Okay. So basically, I'm not sure if this is technically one of them, the way that it works. We're going to see if we can find out. But Erin, we do have some blocks that uses, so we have some layouts for featured comment block, which can be branded to look like your site. And it looks a lot like the block you're referencing, where like top reader reviews. It can have more than one review in it. So this one just has one, but it can have multiple in it. And what I like about it is that you can use it to pull in all the information automatically. So you're not having to like copy paste the link. So hold on, we're gonna have to go help Tammy Broxson in a minute. It's if you like search for a little bit of the comment, you select it, and then it pulls in the whole comment content. It pulls in the author name, and then if it has a rating associated, it pulls that in as well. Which, I mean, you normally always have a 5-star rating there, so like you could just have a 5-star rating or like 5 little star emoji. But I think that it looks nice. So
doesn't it sound awesome? One of Lauren's many awesome plugins.
Is not going to be it. But let me see if I can find an example on here of what it is. Okay, so this right here is just text. This is basically what you're asking for, Erin, where you can just write in whatever you want. Very flexible, super good on its own. Featured comment. And then this is one that's pulling in the user name, just like text and stars automatically. So let me show you what this one looks like. So none of that was like manually written in. This is a block. Here's the featured comment block itself. And then I can decide that I want to change which comment is in here, for example, and I'll search for it. And it searches for all comments across the site by default, but you can tell it like, hey, I actually just want to do comments from this post, and put whatever you want in there. So obviously I won't save this, but I do like this. And I think you too might like this because it's pretty easy to use, and it pulls in all that information, and then it like formats it for you in a repeatable way.
Can I add the disclaimer?
Yeah.
One of our users submitted a request to be able to change the spelling of the comments. You're going to do that within, is it WPRM or within your post comments? But you change spelling, like if a user misspells something and you know that they intended to spell it differently, you're not going to do that at the plugin level. You're going to do it from an admin level on your site. Is it from WPRM? I can't remember how.
No, it's just your comment. You're just going to edit the comment.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Because it's pulling in your comment automatically. So if someone misspelled something and you need to update that, then you just have to go edit their comment. Or you could do the manual, like you could do it manually. For an output perspective, like Google doesn't see the difference in how you're selecting it. It's just for user experience on your end to be able to insert things a little bit easier and have a consistent visual there. But as far as Google sees it, they don't care if you're writing it manually or having it automatically pull in. So you can do whichever you prefer. I like it automatic. Okay, we're going to sidebar for a second to help Tammy Broxton, where she's practicing her live. Tammy Broxton, do you have StreamYard open? A tab for StreamYard where you can see us. And then do you see yourself grayed out at the bottom? You're going to hover over your picture and you should see a button that says add to stage. She's a guest she's a guest, so she can't see the buttons.
Now it's there. Now it's there.
But we can add her.
Yeah, but
Can I present now?
Can you? Go ahead.
It's going to share my screen?
If you want to. You're already on live with us.
Oh, okay. So then what is it I'm supposed to do?
You're just practicing for your live tomorrow.
It is not making me feel good.
But you get to hang out with Laura and Aaron. You better say hi to both of them.
Hi, that is the best part. But man, I am sweating right now. I'm like, what is this going to be like tomorrow when I'm on here? Woo! It's a lot.
You guys kind of look like you're matching.
We do.
Oh,
Like even our
Puffy sleeve green.
very similar.
she's got green.
Is
I've
this
got
intentional?
teal.
Does yours also have cutouts?
No, she's got skin showing. I'm covered up.
Oh. Okay. Well, I guess Tammy Broxton, this isn't a great representation for
fun.
you because you don't have all the abilities that you would if you weren't like a guest. Because we can only have 2 users, so I invited you as a guest. Do you want to practice sharing your screen? Let Aaron and Laura see what you look at.
Yeah. Let's see this.
So tomorrow, her live event. My mom's a realtor. She's a broker, and she's doing a live event about like how she does. Well, like I can't even explain her job without getting web technical. She's going to look at
I'm
properties
so intrigued.
and talk about how she compares them and assesses them as a realtor.
Yeah. So what I'm working on actually while we're doing this is I'm working on an offer. So I've got the offer pulled up, but then I've got to have, and this is why Lauren, it makes her crazy, is all the
So
paperwork.
can you add your screen share to the stage?
How do I do that?
If you hover over it, does it say add to stage?
No. So when you say stage, are you not seeing the screen?
No, not right now.
Okay, hold on. Let me do this.
We can only see.
Okay. Can you?
Oh, she's changing the orientation. That's fun.
You were sharing your screen, it just wasn't added to the stage. So you're gonna have to learn how to add to stage.
I have no stream to your audience. It has present, but
Okay,
I
your
don't-
cursor. Shift up to hover over.
Yeah, that's where normally we
doing
have a
now?
button that says add to stage. So I clicked that for you. But you'll
remove from. Oh,
have that
Okay.
tomorrow during your event.
okay. So then,
You could probably
then
log
you'll
in as me because I log in as hello.
oh, that's okay. That would like take so much effort. So
she
yeah,
doesn't
I'm
have
gonna close
anything
some of the
up.
windows because I
Just
know
to test her own
Lauren
stuff.
loves all these windows open.
Oh, I'm stressed
yeah.
out. We're leaving. I turned your screen share off. We're back to mine.
Oh, good, because there's like so much
Who does
crap on mine.
Yeah. I got overwhelmed by your screen immediately. Immediately. All right, guys, we're back to me. I can't share the spotlight that long with her.
Perfect.
All right. Tammy Braxton, you're welcome
Oh
to
my
hang out here
gosh.
with us if you want, or you can remove yourself whenever. But I'm going
Okay.
back to building stuff.
All right. I'll see you guys later. Thank you so much for letting me crash your party.
It's a fun little trial. We'll still have to test yours separately later.
Okay. Sounds good. All right. Bye, guys.
Of course.
All right. I removed her because I knew she wasn't going to be able to. It would have taken her 20 minutes to figure it. It would have taken her 10 seconds. All right. So back to this. Thank you guys for letting us play live with my mom. She's so cute. So gonna show you how to change out content to work for in post. So anything like this where it's like full width. First of all, this section doesn't even have a background, which is really nice. But let me pretend like it does. Oh, there's a bug. Let me pretend like this has a background real quick. Let's do this and this. And then just pretend like this is what it looks like. Okay, so pretending this is what it looks like when a section is like full width and it has a background. And, excuse me, we want to turn it into something that fits inside of the content area. So we probably want to remove that background and any extra like spacing that's added with it. We want to probably decrease the space like between items. So normally, like if I know it's going to be a full width page, I have like more spacing top bottom and like side to side, but I probably want those to be closer together when I know that it's going to be restricted to the content width, which maxes out on desktop at 730 pixels. But you know, on mobile, it's like 340 pixels or something. So I want everything to just like be closer together. And then because I know that on desktop, it's going to have less space to expand, I probably want to change like the media queries of how content wraps. So like 3 across is great for a full width block. But once it's inside of the content area, I probably am like, oh, I really only want it to be 2 across. Like I just don't have enough room for the third one. So I want to show you a couple ways we can do that. Yeah, I was like, Hannah just left? Hello, Hannah.
My Wi-Fi has been so laggy, and then it just totally swapped over to hotspot. I think my router must have like reset or something.
Got it.
Strange.
I was like, is Tammy back? Did she come back in here? Okay, so first of all, if it does have that background, we're just going to remove that. I usually do that by like, if there's another group here, I would ungroup it. But otherwise, like in here, just going to remove the background color. And then with this padding here, I remove both of the, like just reset your padding. So that's deleted like the background color and a lot of space around the edges. This stuff, like it's probably fine. I would maybe adjust font sizes and spacing up here a little bit, depending on how the rest of the content looks inside of the post. Like for this particularly, I feel like I would probably do a smaller line height. And then I would maybe even make this text smaller. It defaults to medium, do something small, but that would really depend on the content itself. The biggest thing we want to worry about is this grid. It's not going to look good inside of a little content area. So let me show you. You would not need to do this. I'm going to simulate what it will look like inside of a post. I'm going to group this and then set the content to 730 pixels. Love that for myself. This row was set to full width. I need to change it to none. Okay, and then now it's that 730 pixels. So I would not save this into the pattern. Note that I'm only adding that group and the content width for 2 reasons. One is to simulate what it's going to look like, just so I know. And the second one is that actually without this group, if I ungroup, I couldn't tell that this was full width. It didn't have the option there. So for me to change it to not full width, it actually needed to be inside of a group, which I recognize is really annoying. And I'm sure that there was a good reason WordPress did that. I don't know what it is. Once you have it as non-full width, you could ungroup it. It'd be good again. So this grid is our main thing. So we're going to adjust this to work better for being inside of that smaller content area. I'm going to make the desktop columns 2. I'm just going to decrease that to 2. On tablet, also 2. And then on mobile, it's already 1. I'm going to keep that as 1. Because this is manual content, I probably would just delete the third one. But if you had 4, I would add another. Like, you can just duplicate these and then customize them. Duplicate, duplicate. And so it would look like this inside of the content area. So I would do 2 or 4 just because I feel like those fit a little bit better. On this grid here, I would also decrease the block spacing to probably small. I feel like that looks a little bit nicer. I wish, yeah, okay. So clicking out of that. So I would do something like this, Erin, and I can save this as a different pattern. If you want to keep the full width one, I can save this as an in content one. So you could do something that's a lot more visual than what I showed you with, which we could still do something similar to this, but what I showed you on Easy Chicken Recipes with what Becky's doing. So I can save this one, but the main thing for making it fit better into the content width area is going to be decreasing block spacing and then adjusting kind of layouts. So this one's a little easier because it's using grid, but if you have another layout that's more complex, probably using columns, that one might take a little bit more know-how to actually change the layout. But we could do that, or anyone that has experience with blocks could do that, and then save your pattern and you're just inserting it and working from there. Let me see. I'm going to save this as a separate pattern so that Erin has it.
Okay.
And then should we do
Laura's?
Yeah, the sidebar.
Yeah.
Okay. So first of all, I'm going to copy this, and then I'm going to do a new pattern, add new pattern.
Ooh, what will she name it?
Name me.
Ah, really? That brought you too much joy.
It did. It really did.
I'm going to overthink these names later, Erin.
Hannah, I can send you. I actually have like a little cheat sheet on how I name blocks that I made like 2 sites ago. So it's in use on Erin's site.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm open to looking at it.
I am not saving what readers are saying because that's all the edits I made that we don't want to keep. I am saving Hannah will rename me because that's the new version that is made to insert inside of posts.
Cool.
Okay. I want to double check what patterns we have here. Okay, so we have a logo bar. So
wait, you're in Erin's though.
I was going to say, should I actually go to Laura's site and just do it on her site?
I feel as though that would be best. Laura, you're welcome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No one wants to watch hypotheticals.
She's right. She's right. Front end. Oh, you know what I heard? I say this in a lot of my videos.
Oh gosh.
And then I heard that WordPress changed how this edit site button works in the newest version. I say it takes you to the template that you're on. And I heard a nasty little rumor that was too confusing for people. And now it takes you to the same page every time and you have to navigate to the template you want to edit.
I'm willing to confirm that whatever change it is, it's more confusing.
It hasn't changed yet. See, this is going directly where I think it would go.
That's good.
Okay. Laura, what we did was we went to your site. I went to a post. I clicked edit site and it took me directly to this template. This is the template I want to edit. Should the nasty little rumor become true, what it's going to take you to is probably something a lot more like right here. And if this happens, then you need to make sure you go into templates and then you're going to pick one that is called with sidebar. It's this very last one. With sidebar is your single post template. And it's made up of lots of purple blocks. But one of those purple blocks is the sidebar. So
which you could just change the global sidebar template as well, right?
That's a template part, yes.
Okay.
You could go directly to the template part section of the editor and then go to global sidebar. And it'll take you to this screen, which I don't like this screen because it's large. It's not like representative of what it would actually look like, which is why I prefer to edit it here, where this is the actual size most users are going to see it at.
Okay.
So then from here, I click into it a bunch of times. But as I say probably way too often, I love this document overview. Click into here. That way I can see where I'm inserting things. So once I click on sidebar icons, I'm going to click enter. So I can insert my pattern at this cursor. And then I'm going to click on the plus icon to insert our pattern.
Didn't you just pass it?
No, it's right here.
Okay.
Did I pass it?
I thought there were some pre-made ones on the first page.
Then I'm going to go back to it and I'm going to use it.
Meow, 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 meow.
I don't see it.
Go down. Is that not them right there? Like MSN.
Look how small that is. You expect me to see that?
Well, you play in this enough, you should know.
Meow, 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 meow. Okay, look at that. I didn't even insert it where I wanted it. This is fine.
Noob.
I'm a little bit cranky about it, but it's fine. We're just going to expand everything and drag and freaking drop it.
Ooh, the horror.
Well, why did I click enter if not for it to immediately have what I need there?
Yeah.
Look at how small this is. That's not going to work for us at all. Oh, this is another good example. So, Erin, this is like the reverse, but the exact same thing, like the exact same concept applies. We are taking, no, it's not the reverse. It's the exact same thing. We're taking something that's supposed to be large and we're putting it in a smaller area. And so we're going to make pretty much the same type of adjustments that we made on Erin's. We're going to check spacing and decrease that. We're going to adjust our grid so that it's laid out better for the space that it's in. And then because this is in a row, I'm going to show you how to unrow that, which is really easy. It's just a group, and I'm going to say ungroup.
Oh.
Ungroup. Now they're stacked.
Okay.
Look, we can almost see that there's images in there now.
I would have clicked row and like swapped it to stack and just see what it did. That's what.
Here, let's go back. I'll show you.
That is how my brain would have handled it.
So inside of row, you could do it. If you click on stack. So this is row. Sorry, this was row. This is stack. We can't see it in there actually. And this is just a regular group. To be fair, I really rarely use this stack because I feel like a regular group is more predictable.
Okay.
So I just use that stack. I use group if content is stacked. There's very few times I actually use that stacked option. So you could still leave it in a group. You just have an unnecessary group now. So being who I am, I get rid of the group because I'm like, I don't need this group. Goodbye, group. Sorry, guys. I don't have a big enough screen right now, which is why I keep having to close options so we can see it the way I want to see it. Here, grid. So I have the grid selected. I'm going to decrease the space between them, and I'm going to change my grid options. So first, I want to decrease spacing. 3 is like what I would do for inside of a post. For the sidebar, I'm going to actually do the second spot, so extra small. They're still teeny tiny. That's not going to work for me. but they're set to 6 column. So if I had 6 that I wanted to display, I'd probably do 3
Magical.
on all sizes. So normally you would do different numbers here because the width is going to change. But since the sidebar is really always going to be this small, I just do the same number for everything, which is really the same as if I just did it on mobile. I could leave. Nope, I lied.
New question.
Yes,
Will you do
question.
me a favor? Will you add a block under this?
Yes.
All right, go to creator sidebar. So these are all the ones that can already fit in the sidebar. Scroll down. Is that it? There wasn't one pre-made? That's sad.
Yeah.
I thought
That's
for
fine.
sure we had logos already in there.
No, that's why Laura needed me to do it.
Yeah, that probably needs to be added.
Yeah, but I mean, you could
Well, you
also
should
just
give
put
it to
them in
me.
your footer.
Yeah, that's true.
You could put them in your footer. Actually, I'll talk to this for a second. Let me come back to our little screen. The reason I say that you could just put it in the footer is because at this point, I've been in blogging long enough that everything's confusing. There was a point where ad networks really wanted you to have less content in your sidebar so they could have the sticky ad that scrolled longer. So the less content, the better the viewability of that sticky ad. And so that's why anything that could go in this somewhere else on the site in the footer, I would pull it out of the sidebar and put it in the footer. Most of your users are on mobile, so they're never actually going to see the sidebar next to their content anyway. So that's why if there was somewhere else I could put it, I put it elsewhere and then basically left the sidebar for like the minimum necessary and to be there for an ad.
Okay.
Basically just a spot for an ad. Because if we didn't need ads there, we probably just wouldn't have sidebars anymore. I think that the best thing that most sites can do is put content exactly where it's needed. So stop stuffing stuff in their header and in their footer, and then just like curate more pages and more content. And so have more of those landing pages. And so that's why I like a lot of these blocks that give you that customizability. And so you don't have to have as much stuff in your header and footer. Like just put it exactly where they need it. But we're not really there. So like, that's why we like link stuff in our footer and things like that, which is fine. We'll get there.
Interesting.
But now the one place that I'm like, it's easy to put it elsewhere is the sidebar. Laura, I didn't mean to go on like a rant. Like you can put it in the sidebar if that's what works for you.
And it's not taking up a ton of space. So to put it right under your authority building, like this is my bio and then here's my as featured on, I think that's helpful.
Laura, I didn't save this. Do you want me to go ahead and save this? I know these aren't the logos you want to use, but just because it's been like done, do you want me to click save on this so you can edit it? I'm going to read Aaron's comment. I added a perfect pairings block. Can you look to see if I did an okay job? Ooh, fun. Okay, I'm going to click save on Laura's, and then Aaron, on your latest post, I'm going to open one of your latest posts and look at the perfect pairings block.
That makes me think of platings and pairings. Didn't we have a perfect pairings for her?
Maybe, probably. Okay, so template, I'm saving the sidebar. Done. I'm going to go back to
Laura said actually no.
Ah!
Save. I'm so sorry, Laura. I hope you're saying actually no about something else.
Wait, save.
Can you
I
unsave?
undid it.
Okay. It's unsaved.
Okay.
She listened to your rant. Okay. I think it's fine.
Aaron.
Can I change us? I want to see what you're doing.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
There we are. Okay, cool.
I forgot that I
Ooh. What are you going to do?
continue.
What are you going to do about them titles?
I wanted you to like, say your piece. You said, ooh, like you had an opinion.
You know I have an opinion.
Okay, so yeah, I don't like the titles. Hannah knew I wasn't gonna like the titles. I feel like they just like get long and squished. And so you guys went blurry.
My internet has been terrible, but I am having the best internet of the entire live stream right now. This is on you, Erin, not me.
It could, I was gonna say it could be on me because I'm definitely on the back porch right now to try and not be distracting to other people at home.
Okay, so options for how to fix this. Number 1, Erin, you've got to fix the formatting of all your titles to have the same number of words so you have anything to stress about.
You are so mean for even saying that.
If you are going to hurt my heart with the Hannah's going to rename pattern, you better believe I'm coming in hot.
Yeah, but that wasn't mean to me. That was mean to Erin. Even though I know it's a bad idea, if I were her, if I were in that seat, I would like immediately stress it before being like, wait, no, I'm not going to do that. Oh my gosh.
She's having to refresh. She doesn't even know what's happening. She's going to miss all of this. It's probably
all right.
that way.
I have ideas on what I would do for this. Here, you know what? While we wait for Erin to see when she returns, I'm going to see if I can find an example.
You're fine as in you're not mad at me, or you're fine as in your internet is better? Are you redoing the titles of all of your posts ever?
No. I think Lemon Blossoms is going to be the one I want. Lemon Blossoms, give me some of these posts.
Both.
One of you is going to have what I want. This one. Okay. Do. Okay, Erin. So what I would do is with this one alone, I'm going to edit this post. I won't save it. Is this bird like really loud for you guys?
Yeah, that's a very verbose.
I was like, let me see if I can
bird.
put my headphones in because like
it is definitely not a wise SEO choice. There's so many reasons what I said was wrong. But thank you for spitting truth in this moment. Sometimes we need people to explicitly say why you absolutely shouldn't do something.
Okay, Erin, you have so many options here. First of which is decreases block spacing just a little. And then maybe you might not like this one, but like those are pretty big. I don't love it. If you went down to 3 though,
I think 3 maybe.
On mobile, actually even 3 on mobile would probably look fine. So if you went down to 3, I feel like that would probably look pretty good. Another thing you could do, sorry, I just undid everything so we could start fresh again.
You passed it.
Perfect pairings. Okay, another thing you could do is basically just ungroup. It's not a group. Remove the background and spacing from the titles. What is happening?
She says 3 works, but sorry, Erin, she's going to force you to watch all of your options first. Welcome to my life.
Exactly.
You can make a decision, however, we must consider all options. Ooh.
Okay, this would be another thing. I don't know. That loses a lot of the color, and I know Erin loves her colors, so I don't know if this is really a winner. But that would be another thing. I just feel like just giving the titles more space to breathe went a long way for this. I wonder if we could make the titles like pink, and that would make.
I love that these titles are breathing. How did this happen? I would almost want a background on the whole block before colorful titles. Can I throw that out there?
Yeah. Let's give it a background. Can I give it a lighter background? No.
Yeah.
Hold. Spacing less. Nope, not that one.
When you add color, she's got to start changing everything. She's going to click all the things. All right, now perfect pairings has to change. I can't read that.
We're here. These blue can't be blue anymore. They need to be like another shade of pink or just also white.
Erin wants whatever we're doing to be whatever the last thing was that we did and not what we're currently doing.
1,000%. But like you said, she has to know all of her options.
I'm so sorry, Erin. This is what we enjoy doing on the live stream.
I feel like this needs just like a little tweak. Okay. Okay, so that would be like another one. I don't like this one personally. I feel like it's too much.
I love
Violet,
it.
if she's
but
down
I'm
for the 3,
always
I like
doing
that. If we just like removed this, if we made it more subtle and removed the space around the titles, I like that. We also could have just like probably made these titles smaller. Itty bitty.
and
helps.
that helps a lot, actually.
Yeah.
You hate it?
You
I love
literally
it.
could just make the titles smaller. Can I go back and just show just titles smaller? No, it won't.
You
It
don't
did.
want to just click back a lot of times and let
I
Erin say
did,
when
I
with the
did,
2-minute
I did.
lag.
No, not at all. No, it's not good enough. The titles just are too big.
Can you center them? What if instead of top, they're centered?
They are. Oh, no, that's hard.
Why?
Girl, if you're gonna why me, I'm gonna make you do it yourself.
I've been
You can
fighting
just
things like
trust
this
me when
all
I
day on
tell you it's gonna be
Blade
hard. Low-key impossible, but go ahead and why me some more. Last option that I can think of in the moment would be to do something side by side like this. And I've even done it where it's not side by side, it's just like a full list, and these are full width, and the images are a little bigger. But if you want to get like a lot on here, then I think this is another thing that works as well. Your titles would be pretty long, but like at least with this layout, you could center the titles top bottom, which Hannah, really hard to do with the current layout. But with this layout, you can center them. So this would be another thing. And then with something like this, you could still have those pink backgrounds on it with the white text. It would just be laid out completely differently.
Okay, so personally,
yeah,
I think we need to go for 3 because psychology says that if you give too many options, they might not click anything. So let's get it down to 3 because that is a feasible amount of options for your users. See if it increases clicks. Play with that one.
Okay.
3 no color.
3
no color. You got to remove the pink.
No pink on here?
She says no
Okay.
color.
So
we're removing all color. Well, can perfect pairings or the line be pink or something? I just really like pink.
She's like this all the time, guys.
I am. It's so obnoxious, but you got to have a pop in there. Give me something. Make the lines pink.
Give me a moment. Okay, so we like this, but Hannah says that the lines have to be pink. So Erin, I hope you don't have opinions because you're not allowed and neither am I. And welcome to my world.
She said the line can be pink, okay?
All right, this looks good.
It's so cute.
How much space did I put between these grid items? I feel like it's just like too little now.
I agree. No color looks good.
This. Should I click save on this, Erin?
What are you going to name it? Oh, it's already named.
This isn't a, yeah, this one's not a pattern. This one's just in a recent post. And
You're
then
not
she
gonna
could go save
add
it
it?
as a pattern.
You're going to.
Oh, I should save it as a pattern. Okay.
You're in there. Let's all watch her go through the science of naming the pattern too. Hannah will rename.
Fine. You want to know what I named them?
Yeah.
I named them based on where they go, but then I also changed them. So first of all, I'm going to rename this, and it'll be based on the first is the category, so content. The second is like the layout it uses, which is specifically this block or this one. So I'm actually going to use grid because the posts are in a grid. And then this, I would name it like something that
Perfect pairings.
visually, represents what it is. So, well, I mean, I would have done related posts.
But
or
she has
query.
14 related posts.
Okay, perfect pairings. Oh my God, guys, I am getting it today. Okay,
Yours will have a
so
lot
I
of images.
rename it, and then it names it up here, which is important in my head. And then when I go to create pattern, I paste in that exact same name.
So
Where do
just
you
to
want me to-
clarify, for Lauren's head, you're going to rename your outline, but like for actually reusing it later, you're going to name it in the pattern.
But if you want it to be useful at all times in the future, you're going to do both.
For reasons.
For Lauren has mild OCD reasons. Exactly.
Mild.
Mild. Why'd you say it like that, Hannah?
I'm just impressed that we got 3 posts instead of 4. That's all. It wasn't a multiple of 4.
We got 3 posts instead of 4. We saved it as a pattern. We gave it a name so Hannah doesn't have to rename it.
Thanks, Mom.
Will
Aaron
they
says,
count?
will they count as an SEO link?
I don't know what an SEO link is. How do
Ooh.
you define that? Google will see that you are linking to these posts, and they will see the title as the anchor text. So I think the answer is yes.
However, Lauren has a fear of being yelled at, specifically in all caps emails. Therefore, if you ask anything SEO related, the answer is we're not an expert.
1,000%. And I've been yelled at about things I am an expert in.
Regularly.
And yeah.
She works.
Actually, I got this one right. Thanks.
I like that SEO answer. Was it an answer? Felt like a non-answer.
I'm pretty sure the answer is that it is a link. I mean, you define it as an SEO link, and Lauren's definitions are going to come out where, like, can you define this term?
She says nose goes. It's SEO. I'm not it.
Yeah.
All right,
It's 3:01.
I know. We're 1 minute over.
We're 1 minute over.
I can't ask for more questions. I just have to dance and say goodbye to everyone, and we'll see you next week. Although I really want to be like, does anyone have any more questions? Laura thinks the links would count. They should.
They'll probably count more because they have headings that are used for them. So they'll have a little bit more weight to them in some ways.
Lauren has more confidence with Google than I do. I fail at most things Google, and it's fine. That's fine.
This was fun, guys.
Yep.
Thank you for hanging out with my mom. That actually brought me a lot of joy, guys.
Well, we got to watch her fumble in the background, like in her office on this screen that you guys couldn't see for a while.
And when she was like, I'm so sweaty, I'm like, that's where I get it from. I also get really sweaty when I'm nervous, guys. It's really gross.
The first few live streams for us, I think we were both drenched. Now it's kind of normal.
Now I know they're casual and we get to hang out. Aaron, I'm really glad this was helpful for you.
Come back every week. We're here every Wednesday.
Yeah. Hang out with
us. We love having people to play with.
Yes. And do things on your site. That's be a little guinea pig. We will make you patterns. Yes.
Yes. All right. I'm going to let you go back to your day off, Lauren. Thanks for joining this with me and doing all the things. I appreciate you.
Yes. I have to hang out with you guys. Bye.
Bye.